Talent Underground, where the dreams all surround. Creativity unbound. Feel the beat, hear the sound.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Talent Underground, where we uncover the rising stars of the creative arts, from local gems to global game changers. I'm your host, Melissa Cremascoli, and I have the pleasure of introducing you today to one of Sydney's rising superstars in the world of acting. Her name is Jae Ma. Jae is a Taiwanese actress, director, and producer. She has appeared in more than 22 productions over the past 6 years, both locally, nationally, and abroad. With a strong foundation in acting and an incredibly creative mind, Jae is relentless in her pursuit of making her mark in the industry, and we are thrilled to have her in the studio with us today. Welcome, Jae, to Talent Underground.
Thank you so much, Melissa. I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. I can't wait to get started, and I can't wait for our viewers to learn more about you and what you've been able to achieve already in your career as an actress. It's very, very exciting.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So we'll get underway. I have a series of questions which I'm excited to ask you. So we'll start by, if we can, for those that are tuning in, I would love it if you could start by sharing a little bit about your journey as an actress and what was it that first inspired you to pursue a career in this industry?
Yeah. Well, I watched Titanic with my mom when I was a little girl. And I think that movie really sort of inspired me to want to be an actress. However, I didn't really pursue the acting career till much later on. Mm-hmm. You know, coming from an Asian background, Asian families, you know, they want you to be doctors, they want you to be lawyers. You know, when I told my mom that I wanted to be an actress, that was like a big no. So I didn't, you know, I always thought it was impossible because of that. So I didn't really pursue it till a couple of years ago. I was going through this horrible breakup. And I just thought, you know what, I need to do what I've always wanted to do, which is acting. And so I started pursuing my dream of acting because I feel like at the time of the breakup, I felt like everything was ending. You know, the world was crumbling. So I've got nothing else to lose.
Yeah.
So I just thought it's the perfect time to do what I want to do. And that's how I got started a couple of years ago.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, I think sometimes there'll be those turning points in our lives which make us realize that life is just so precious and that, you know, we really are here to really pursue what it is that, you know, really brings us a lot of joy, you know, and I think that's amazing that you were able to realize that, and you had that, obviously, that foundation as well from the Titanic film back when you were younger that really planted that seed. So yeah that's amazing. Excellent.
I think it's like whenever you're in that darkness, it's always really good to turn into that light, because sometimes you create the most beautiful things. And you know, I think a lot of artists would say the same thing. In the darkness, you create the most beautiful, creative ideas and dreams.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's amazing. Awesome. Okay. You've trained extensively and you continue to push yourself as a performer. What has been the most valuable lesson from your training that you still carry on set with you each time that you're performing on set?
I think with performing, you know, a lot of people think acting is not being true, but in fact, acting is being so vulnerable and so truthful to yourself in the character. So I think that's something that I learned over the years. You know, whenever you are playing a character, you relate yourself, the elements of yourself into that character, and you bring that on set and you bring that character to life. So, you know, for example, no actors will play the same character exactly the same, because each single actor have different uniqueness about who they are. And it's that special element of your own uniqueness that truly shines and brings that character alive. So that's something that I'll always sort of bring on set with me. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And I think that as an audience member, someone who's actually watching a performance in a film, that's what we relate to. We relate to that realness. So yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I have a really, really wonderful question that I love to ask a lot of people because I think we all have someone who inspires us. So as an actress so far in your career, who would you say has been your greatest inspiration? And what is it about this person that inspires you in your work?
That's a great question. And I would have to say it is one of my best friend, Caitlin. She was also an actress herself, and she had been doing acting for like over 10 years. I actually met her when I first started acting class, and just remember that the first time when I saw her acting, it was like so amazing. She was just so uniquely talented. She really inspired me because I remember when I saw her acting, I was like, you know what? If I could just have not even 10%, 1% of what Caitlin has, like, you know, I'm set. Like, that's how amazing, you know, she is. And I'd always remember this one time she was helping me with the self-tape. And afterwards, she was asking, like I was asking her, hey, which self-tape should we send in for the audition? And her and I both like, you know, self-tape number 2. But, you know, I was like, you know, Caitlin, I feel like in that one, my accent is so strong, you know, it's probably not good. And then she turns around and she said to me, Jay, that is what makes you so uniquely beautiful. And that I always remember with me, you know, to just be your authentic self. And because of what Caitlin said. And sadly, Caitlin passed away a couple years ago. So it is always, you know, she's always in my memory, and everything I do now with my acting, it's like it feels really wonderful because I feel like I'm doing it not just for myself, but also for her. And you know, so she has been one of the greatest influence through my acting career. She taught me how to just embrace myself of who I am, and don't ever try to be anyone else.
She sounds like an incredible person.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Awesome. And as I mentioned in your introduction, you have appeared in more than 22 productions since 2019, which is amazing. So can you share with us what has been your most memorable and meaningful role during that time? And which roles have stretched you and challenged you the most, and why?
That's a great question because I have been quite a few productions, as you said, and I love all the characters that I play because I find that with each characters that I play, it really, as an actor, you get to be in so many different characters and you walk in their shoes. So every single character, I find it so, you know, interesting because you get to really study that character. I would say if I have to pick out like a role or something that I really enjoyed playing, I would have to say it would be Enya from Streets of Deceit. Now, it's a feature film, and that film really helped me to understand myself, not just in the acting aspect, but also my personal growth as well. Because first of all, when I went for audition for that for that production, I actually auditioned for a different role. And Enya, this character, wasn't even exist in the film. But because I guess the producer, the director, they really, liked my audition, they then created Enya into this film. So that was sort of like such a blessing for me, shout out to Dave and Demi, because that's just, that was such a blessing. And so it's incredible how I then started having this role as Enya. And the reason why I said it would be like the most challenging and sort of for myself as an actress to go through that role is because while we were filming, it was just soon, not long after Caitlin had passed. So for me, it would be like I'd be crying all night, but the next day I know I have to get up and go on set, and we put so much makeup on me, and but it's that it's that consistency, the perseverance, sort of push me through, and just knowing that I can do this. And I think in that time, I really find that strength to get through. And, obviously God, it has been a big part of that, because he really sort of helped me to get through that film, to get through that acting. So, I would say that would be the most memorable one, because for that reason.
Yeah.
And
It sounds like the most challenging one at the same time, the most memorable but also challenging for you.
Yeah. And then you truly find yourself loving what you do even through the pain. And like I said, it's about using that trauma, using that pain to create something beautiful for the audience to see. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. Yeah,
Thank you.
Wonderful. Congratulations. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Okay, so and we just talked a little bit about challenging things and that you can come across in a role in a role or as an actor. Can you just elaborate a little bit more for us and share any tips of how you have maybe possibly overcome any self-doubt during your career? Because I know that can sometimes creep in for us. And how have you, I guess, bounced back from any setbacks?
That's a very tough question, because I think as actors, we are also self-critic. We're like the worst enemies to ourselves. So, there's times that I would, be so upset if I didn't hear back from a audition, or, if I didn't get a call back from an audition. But I think there's two things. First thing is that you need to have people around you that believes in you. But even if you don't, to believe in yourself as well. Because at the end of the day, if you choose to be in this career, to choose to do acting, it's something that you love. So you got to believe in yourself. But I'm very blessed that I have my agent, Paul Newland. Shout out to you, Paul. That for the last couple of years since I have been with him, he has always been that rock. So, I mean, he's, answer phone calls where I'm like, oh my God, Paul, I'm crying to him. I'm telling him, well, what do I do? So he has just always been there for me. So I'm very grateful. And for my acting coach, Michaela Gibson, I also wanted to say thank you. I think she told me a very valuable lesson is that when you get to audition for a character, you already won. Because it's like for that 5-10 minutes, you got to play that character. Okay? So after you get to play that character, after you send that self-tape off, after you audition, you say goodbye to your character. So I find that very helpful, if I audition for a role of, Mary, for example. After I did that audition, I will say, thank you, Mary. I enjoy playing you, and goodbye. And, it's almost like that closure, that closeness, and then you just keep moving forward. And that would be the best tip that I so far have learned throughout my journey.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Yeah, nice. And just to sort of keep leading into that a little bit more, with all of your experience in the industry, what advice would you give to those just starting out in their careers as an actor or an actress?
Well, I think that if this is something you truly want to do, just go for it. But you need to understand your why. Like, you need to understand why you want to do that. For me, storytelling definitely brings people together, because it's through those emotions. You know, as humans, we feel different things, but all the same. You know, we feel love, we feel sadness, we feel, vulnerable, we feel confusion, we feel fear, and all of those emotions can be shown through storytelling. And that is my why, because I feel like stories just brings people together. So know your reason, and if that's what you truly want to do, just go for it. Because a lot of people is gonna tell you, oh no, it's impossible. And those people could be the ones that love you the most. Coming back to when I was little, when I told my mom that I wanted to be an actor, like actress, she actually said, you'll never make it because you're not pretty enough. So it's like sometimes the people that's closest to you, they would, because they don't understand it and they want what's best for you. So they may say certain things, So if it's something you truly want to do, I would just say go for it and just don't look back.
Wow, that's amazing advice. Amazing advice. And you're beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Of course. Another question for you. So, in the creative industry today, what do you think is missing, and what would you like to see more of, particularly in, say, film and screen?
That's a great question. Well, I grew up here in Australia, and when I was growing up here, I never really saw anyone that looked like me on screen, on film and TV, So there was always that doubt, like, hang on a second, am I good enough? Am I supposed to be on film and screen? So I think now Australia is really pushing that diversity, pushing that, inclusiveness. So that's something that I would like to continue to see. But also to give the encouragement out there to people is that, like, don't wait for the opportunities to come to you. If it's something you truly want to do, create your own opportunities. Go out there and just create your own. With the 22 productions, I've done productions that's on my own. Produce a story that's on my own. So it's good to just believe in yourself again, and obviously always have faith in God, because I think that for myself, Jesus has been such a big element to what I do in my life, with acting, but also my personal journey. So go out and just create your opportunity yourself.
Yeah, awesome. No, I think that's really, really great advice. And just to touch on that, you have produced your own work, which you were just saying just now. Like, if you have something, go out there and make it. And I understand that you have. You've done that. So are you able to share a little bit about these projects and what inspired you to bring them to life?
Yes, sure. So my first production where I wrote and directed was actually during COVID, because COVID, we couldn't film together. But I had this idea of just showing the world that we are actually all in this together. So I created a short film with an actress in America, and I was in Australia. We filmed ourselves, in separate different continent of the world.
Awesome.
And then our editor at the time was in Sydney, I was in Brisbane. So and it was just all put together. And so it was really, really amazing how that come about. And the story for that, it's sort of like, we are all in this together. We need to be more understanding of one another. So that was my first production that I did. And then the most recent two is actually with a writer, director, Tyrone, from Brisbane. We produced this film called Vincent. And this film is a modern take of how domestic violence shine light on, men and women. And Vincent is a story that is close to my heart, having been through that journey myself. So we wanted to, again, just bring the awareness to people, and that's why I created that film with Tyrone Rusoma for that. And lastly, right now with Oz Arab Media, we are doing Dr. Elizabeth Hawkes, who is a dating coach. And she gives this amazing dating advice, but it's actually called Bad Advice, to her patients of how to find love. Again, it's that one's comedy. It's just really fun because, I find that in the world that we live in now, everybody is, trying to find love and, in all around places. And I think Dr. Elizabeth B. Hawkes really encourages that. So yeah, that's all the production so far that I have done. But there's more definitely later that I'll be doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. So
Thank you.
congratulations on all of that. That's fantastic. I'm going to have to check out this Dr. Elizabeth B. Hawkes for myself.
Yes, she'll give you great advice.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm sure she will.
Yes.
Awesome. And I also know that you are extremely passionate about being a part of telling stories that matter. We've just heard about Vincent, which is obviously about domestic violence, and those things matter. And so can you share with us what types of roles you can see yourself performing in as an actress and what kind of productions you'd like to align yourself with in the future?
Well, I think every story has a meaning behind that story. So I think as long as it's projects that really brings that truth, that rawness on screen, I like to be involved in. Particular because, as I mentioned before, I love Jesus, and, he has been a big part of my life since I was a little girl. So I would love to be involved in, faith-based films, something that will share the love of Jesus Christ with people. And yes, stories that connects, again, humanity together. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. That's fantastic. So tell me, Jay, what's next for you? What are your upcoming projects? Have you got anything sort of in the pipelines at the moment?
Well, so it's very exciting because Vincent, the film that I just mentioned, has actually won Best International Short Film.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And it has also been selected in other film festivals in LA, and it was screened over there a couple months ago. So that was such an achievement. Currently, I'm just wrapping up a film called Proverbs 22:6. That one is directed by Sonia. She's an amazing, talented director and producer. That film sort of shines light on, child trafficking, brings awareness to it. So I'm involved in that project. Exciting news, A Punch for a Buck by Jamie Pan. I was a character in there, the bartender Ivy. Such a really cool action film with different fighting scenes and that has been officially selected as finalist for AACTA, so the Actors of Australia. So that one, if the audience can vote for that film, A Punch for a Buck, that will be amazing. So a lot of things happening. I'm currently still filming for Dr. Elizabeth B. Hawkes, Relationship Bad Advice. And then I've also got a street theater coming up that I'll be performing as well. So that one, it's for sort of sharing the love of Jesus, and I will play a role of Jezebel, and that one is through Holy Trinity Productions, and I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, and next year, finally, hopefully I'll be back in the States soon, because I was in the States in LA filming last year for a project called Zalia, where I actually play Zalia. She's the AI character, and we have to finish that off. So hopefully I will be able to go back to States next year sometime, filming with Jano to finish that film Zalia. Yeah, so busy.
Amazing, yeah. You've got a lot happening. That's fantastic.
Yes.
And congratulations. There's a lot of wonderful things that are happening in your world at the moment, and congratulations. You can see that you're passionate and all your hard work is really paying off, and I can't wait to see what else you're going to be able to bring to the world of acting. And Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So well done.
Thank you, Melissa.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. And so I think, look, we might wrap it up for today. But before we do, if there's anyone that wishes to, say, reach out to you, get in contact with you for any acting opportunities or creative collaborations, I mean, how can they get in contact with you, Jay?
Well, so if for anyone that wants to work with me, you can contact me directly or through my agent. So my agent's name is Paul Newland and Crane Management. So you can contact him directly. And with myself, my socials, Instagram is J_MA_actress. That's on Instagram. On TikTok is JMA Actress. Or you can just simply Google my name, which is just the letter J space MA, and you'll be able to find all my details there. And please feel free to reach out and connect because, you know, I always love the connection. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Awesome. So make sure, guys, that you do reach out to Jay. She's an absolutely amazing and talented actress. And we have just been so thrilled to have you in the studio with us today.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for being here. And thank you also to everyone that has tuned in and that has been a part of this today, Jay. And please, everybody, do not forget to like this video and subscribe to Oz Arab Media for more creative, talented people that we're going to be bringing on this show. So tune in and stay tuned for what's up next.